Okay, hi. Welcome to my first YouTube video ever. This feels so weird, but I'm Allie and I love reading. I've been wanting to make a channel dedicated to books for a long time now, and I'm finally doing it. This feels super weird, so please bear with me because I don't feel completely comfortable talking in front of the camera, so bear with me. Today I just wanted to start off by talking about all the books that I read in August and my thoughts on them. And I also feel like I'm not great at explaining what the books are about, but I can tell you my thoughts on them and what I rated them and do my best on telling you what they're about. But sometimes after I finish a book, I just forget about what it was about if I didn't love it. So anyways, okay, let's get started and I'll just tell you the books I read last month. Okay, so I read about 11 or 12 books this month, and these are all the physical books I read, and then I did read some on my Kindle, so I'll go over these first. Okay, so the first books this month I read was Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower by Kristen Becker Ritchie. As I'm sure you know, these are part of the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, and this is Connor and Rose's book, and then this is Daisy and Reich's. I loved both of these so much. Kiss the Sky is definitely my favorite of the series so far. Connor and Rose are hands down my favorite couple. I'm obsessed with them and just like how competitive they are, and like they're just iconic, honestly. So I love this. I gave this one a 5-star, and then Daisy and Reich's book I loved as well. This is like age gap, and they like to do crazy daredevil stuff. So some of it was like wild and they kind of stressed me out, but I love the relationship. I love the insight that we got into their lives and just their struggles that you don't find out until you read their book. So I really liked them. And then yeah, so I rated this one a 4.5 star. So I really love both of these. I feel like both of these just really got me invested in the rest of the series. So the next books I read was Unravel Me, which is the second book in the Shatter Me series. I started the Shatter Me series like 6 months ago or something, and then I just never like got into the rest of it. I liked the first book, I just didn't love it, so I kind of forgot about it, but I finally got back into it and I'm so glad I did. So before I read this one, I read Destroy Me, which is from Warner's perspective. It's just a really short novella, and I definitely recommend reading it because it just gives you so much insight into his thoughts and in his mind, and it made me obsessed with him. I love him. So I read Destroy Me first, then Unravel Me. I loved this book, gave it 4.5 stars. I won't really talk about it because it's like the second book in the series, so I can't really tell you what it's about, but I feel like I'm one of the last people on earth to read this series. Like, everyone loves it. So after I finished this one, I went into Fracture Me, which is Adam's novella, and honestly I was very underwhelmed. I mean, I knew I would be just because I don't really care about Adam, and I can just tell that I'm not gonna like him. So all that novella did was just tell me that I didn't like him. But overall, yeah, love this. Can't wait to get into the rest of the series. I read The Gracier by Kim Liggett. This book is absolutely wild. It's a YA dystopian, but it was surprisingly dark for being young adult, but oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. I've heard people explain it as a combination of The Hunger Games, The Lord of the Flies, and The Handmaid's Tale. And I think after reading it, that's a very accurate description. It's like she has her own unique twist. Like, this is a very unique story. But I loved it. It's like slightly disturbing at times, but the meaning of it is really good. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to explain it very well, but essentially it's like a world where the women don't really matter, and in the community they're in, they're like seen as they have like magic that can do something to the men. So when the girls are 16, they get sent out into the forest to like release their magic into the wild. But there's like poachers that are like hunting them. So anyways, it's this whole deal, and it was so good. I was stressed out the entire time I was reading it, and ever since finishing it, I have not been able to stop thinking about it. Like, this book has stuck with me, and I really hope that she makes a second one because it was really good. So highly recommend this. I gave this a 4.5 star. Okay, then I read The Inheritance Games. This is the first and the second one. This is another series I feel like I'm very late to the game on, but I had heard nothing but amazing things. So I decided to read them this month, and they were really good. It's a like YA mystery, and there's like high stakes riddles and puzzles. It's about this girl who inherits like so much money and a bunch of things and a huge mansion from an old guy that she like has never met, and so she has no idea why she inherited it. And obviously the old man's family was like expecting all of that, and so she shows up and they're like, what the heck? And she doesn't know what's going on either. So anyways, it's kind of the mystery. The first one's the mystery of like why she inherited everything, and people want to kill her. So it was very entertaining. I feel like I expected a little bit more out of it. So I gave this one a 3.75, but the second one I ended up giving 4 stars because I like this one a little bit better, and I feel like the story just like picked up more. But overall, I definitely recommend. It's short chapters, really fast paced, just really fun, quick reads. So yeah, I highly recommend these, and I want to read the third one soon. And then my last physical book of the month is my favorite read of the whole month, and probably one of my favorite reads of all time is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I love this book so much. I have not been able to stop thinking about it since this put me in a book hangover. Like, I didn't want to read anything after I was done with this book. It was amazing. Again, I feel like I'm gonna suck at explaining what this book is about, but essentially this lady has an aunt that she grew up with and spent a lot of time with, and her aunt had an apartment that she always said was magic, and then present day her aunt passes away and ends up giving her apartment to, I'm gonna forget her name. Oh, Clementine. Main character is Clementine. So Clementine inherits this apartment and then ends up finding out it is actually magic, and she meets a man from 7 years in the past in her apartment, and then it's just essentially about their relationship. And that's all I'll say. Sorry if that was a terrible description, but oh my gosh, I love this book so much. Her writing is so beautiful. I feel like it reminded me a lot of Emily Henry's writing, and I love Emily Henry, so I just devoured this book. From the first chapter, it had my full attention, and I just did not want to stop reading. So yeah, it was really good, and it's set in New York City, which is just like such a vibe. So this would be a really good read for like entering into fall, because it's just very cozy and amazing. Amazing. 5 stars. Please read this. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna go over my Kindle reads of last month with you guys. So the first one I read was Stolen Air by Sophie Lark. I'll probably put like a picture or something. But this is part of the Brutal Birthright series. I think they're all mafia romances, but this one, I'm so sorry I read this too long ago. I forgot their names, but it's about a girl. She's like a ballerina, I think. So she's like a happy sunshine girl, and he's obviously a guy who murders people. So I think her family did something that he didn't like, and so he's trying. Okay, I got cut off, but okay, Stolen Air. So her family does something to him, and he pays them back by kidnapping the daughter, and they end up falling in love. And I obviously just don't like the kidnapping trope, so I did not love this book. I did not like see their connection at all. The book was so short that I don't feel like I felt their connection at all or had enough time to like them as a couple, and he kidnapped her, so why would she fall in love with him? So anyways, I did not love this book, but I rated it 3 stars. Like overall, it's like fun if you want something like that, just something different. But yeah, so that one was a 3-star. And then I read Scarlet Princess, which is the first book in a series. I think it's called The Lachlan Feuds, and this is on Kindle Unlimited. But the first one's called Scarlet Princess, and then the second one was called Tarnished Crown. And it's a 4-book series, and I read the first 2 books. And these were so fun. It's a fantasy romance. It's YA, so it's not like super heavy on the romance, but it does have it. And it's so fast-paced. They're such quick, fun reads, just like light fantasy reads. It just from the first chapter, you just are immediately in the story. So I highly recommend these. I rated both of them 4 stars. And the main character's name is Rowan, and she and her cousin get like captured by like the enemies, like in enemy territory within like the first chapter. And then it's kind of goes on from there with her like stuck in this like enemy country, and then obviously there's a love interest. So yeah, it's super fun. I highly recommend these, and I definitely am gonna finish the series and keep going with it. There's only 2 more books, so yeah, highly recommend. But yeah, those are all the books that I read in the month of August. Thank you so much for watching and bearing with me, as I'm not good at explaining books and feel uncomfortable in front of the camera still, but I hope you guys somewhat enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have anything in mind or specific videos that you want me to do. But yeah, I will see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.